Hello, my name is Rafal Ohme, and I just had a presentation at USB Leaders Angle. This was about how to manage your emotions from a neuroscientific perspective, how to use the power of the brain, and particularly limbic system, to manage people more effectively and to create advertisements more efficiently. I'm so happy that it's turned out that emotions, which is my love for the last 30 years, plays an enormously important role in our brain. In other words, there are a lot of structures that are solely responsible in our brain, neural structures, to process emotional information. Then I'll show you a little tool that actually sits inside your phone. I mean, your phone, smartphone, has a capacity to run the special program that presents a survey on the computer, on the screen of your phone, and you have the question. You have to answer yes or no to the question, and the algorithm measures not only that you say yes, I would like to buy it, yes, I'm happy with my work, yes, I will vote, but also the algorithm measures the way you touch the screen. And from that, it infers whether you really mean it or whether you are actually only nice. We did, just for fun, to see what Polish people like to eat. So there was this survey, and we asked, what do you like to eat? 80% of Polish people says, oh, we love fish, and 88%, oh, we love salad. So this is Poland, a country of fish and salad lovers. You see, only 12% of people says no to fish and 4% no to salad. Of course, it's not true. But this is what people declare. However, when we use the algorithm to see how much you hesitate, we see quite different picture. And it's visualized in a very simple way. When you see the bar goes green, it means they really mean it. If it's yellow, they wish it was true. So it's a wishful thinking. If it's red, it means they know it's not true. We never say they lie. We simply say they say something with very low level of certainty. Okay, so fish and salad, not necessarily. Cake and beer, that's what they love. Instinctively, without any hesitations. However, we have 24% of people who hate beer. They said no, and they really mean it. And we ask, why, man, why? What's wrong with beer? And they said, there was no vodka in cafeteria. We forgot. This is a big French yogurt manufacturer. And they wanted to see whether they could simply translate French TV ad to Polish language, or they need to have some cultural adaptation. We asked Polish and French mothers what they think it's important when they buy food. And there were two specifically interesting questions. The food I'm buying has to be good for me and has to be good for my children. Well, it's a trivial question. We got a trivial answer, a ceiling effect, almost 100% positive answers. So this is one observation, and the other observation, no difference between French and Polish mothers. Now we add the algorithm. French are buying for themselves, whereas Polish mothers are buying for their kids. So now we have a very simple instruction. In the original ad, the actress says, oh, what a delicious yogurt. In Polish version, it has to be added, my child will like it. And then everybody's happy. The research is maximum 6 minutes long, and the results goes after 6 seconds. Now, a couple of stories about emotions. Story number 1, emotions drive behavior. Well, you know it very well. But actually, the word emotion comes from emovere, Latin, which means to put something into motion. But now I'll give you a neurophysiological arguments. But there is frontal cortex, which is responsible in our brain for abstract reasoning, and limbic system, that is responsible for emotional processing. And there is a pituitary gland, which is responsible for regulating hormonal activity and peripheral nervous system activity. In other words, a pituitary gland is responsible for electricity and for chemical power in our organism. There are tons of connections between limbic system and pituitary gland, and zero connection between frontal cortex. Why? Because frontal cortex is relatively new. It's 200,000 years old. It's very difficult to create, to implement rational thoughts, desires into action unless you use energy from limbic system. What I'm saying, you need to engage people. You need to show them values. Second discovery, brain detects intentions. Mirror neurons. This is something that was discovered by this famous and very handsome Italian professor, Giacomo Risolatti. Mirror neurons let you feel emotions of other people. When you look at the young kid and she's crying, your brain cries with her. And that's why you will help her much quicker. And when you meet with wonderful, energetic people, you energize your batteries. The function of mirror neurons is to feel emotions, to sense intentions. So, mirror neurons turn out to be a super force for emotional intelligence. Many people say that the discovery of mirror neurons is as relevant for business as DNA discovery used to be for biology. It changed everything. Because when you hire salesmen, you need to see what is the level of their mirror neurons activity, to put it in lay terms. I'll prove it to you. This is one of the biggest insurance company in Central Europe. And I tested all insurance agents, over 800 of them. And I asked them several questions about what they think about their capacity to perceive emotions of their clients. I like being in contact with people. It's interesting for me what my client thinks. I can predict what my client needs. I can feel the client's mood. Client needs are important to me. And you see that we have two groups, and one group and the other group gives the same answers on declarative level, the same percentage. However, one group gives yellow answers and the other green. So one group is really convinced that this is what they feel, and the other group knows that this is a good answer. So they provide the good answer. What's the difference between yellow and green? Well, yellow brings to the table 300,000 euros per year profit to the company. Whereas green, more than 1 million. Management. I wanted to show you that emotions are our strengths, not weaknesses. We are Homo sapiens. So we have two operating systems, not one. We have iOS and Android at the same time. We don't need to choose. We have reason and we have emotions. System 2 is an abstract thinking, and system 1 is as instinctive, intuitive thinking, heuristic. So both systems need to work together. They need to help each other. Reason is to plan and to supervise. And emotions are to give energy, as I said before. And what is the most important emotions of all? Hope. By the way, hope starts where logic ends. So emotions are like fire. And all of us have been burnt by the fire many times. But does it mean that we need to get rid of the fire? No, we need to tame the fire. We need to learn how to control the fire. Like we did 2 million years ago, Homo sapiens fears fire, says, hey, stop talking about emotions, don't give me this soft stuff, I need to focus on real business. Whereas Homo sapiens controls fire, uses fire to energize the business in a very specific ways. It is passion, not logic, that makes people tick. Logic is to convince. But once a person is convinced, it does not mean he or she will exercise what she or she promises. People need to have why to get up from the bed on Monday morning. And the check by the end of the week is not enough. The last part, tools. If you can't measure it, you can't improve it. So now we can measure passion. Now we can measure emotional engagement. And I'll show you. Are you happy with your personal growth? One of the big financial institutions, and they had trainings for the people, and then we tested what they think of themselves. And it's a self-report questionnaire. And you see that these guys are giving top results. The average of their answers is 95%. So if I was their boss and I was looking to what type of trainings I need to give them next year, no trainings needed because they are perfect in everything. But when we use the clicker, the way they touch, we see there is some space for improvement. To be more precise, my people are ready to learn new skills, and they really mean it. I ready to work hard to be better and better, to develop themselves, and they are ready, honestly ready to share their knowledge, which is great. However, we need to focus on this. They need really to be ready to work with better ones, because now they only claim they like to work with better ones. They need to be ready to admit they don't know. They need to implement new knowledge, not only learn, but implement. And they need to focus on solutions, not only on problems, because there are managers. So this is we need to improve. So this is the course of training I will give them in the following year. Okay, and I will conclude with toys. These are tools. These are highly calibrated machines. We measure your hesitation level, but we need to control for individual differences. Because some people are quicker with touching, some people are slower, some people have different temperaments, some people had 5 coffees like myself and very quick. Some people read quickly, some people read slowly, so the machine learns you. Asking calibration questions. And then it settles the benchmark. And then the machine checks how much you deviate from the baseline. But if you're a guy who just wants to have some fun with the measure, we skip it. We limit the calibration to the minimum, and we call them toys. Like for instance, I talk to a person during the interview. I give him or her a tablet with 8 questions, and while I'll fix the coffee, he or she answers the questions. Of course, he gives only positive answers because he wants the job, right? And I know immediately that he really admires my company, that he really is eager to learn. However, he might have issues with teamwork. So I immediately focus my interview on this issue, on teamwork. Emotions play a key role in management. They drive loyalty, they drive engagement, they detect what people think, they facilitate persuasion, use values to inspire people, to build long-lasting relationship, and to attract talents. And once you have it all, sky is the limit. Thank you.